There's been a lot of talk about whether or not Trump is going to be targeting lawful permanent residents, and it looks like we finally have our answer about whether or not he will be targeting green card holders.
Hope on them, that's how them greeted. Father time still undefeated. Wrong. We have a two-part. Welcome back, guys, to the Dirty Police channel. Now today we're going to talk about green card. And the people, it is not looking good at all. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it is what it is, man. And you got to keep all eyelids up in these times, because these times are really desperate. Because some people are just getting snatched up, put on planes, no court hearing, nothing. And all of a sudden, you find yourself in the middle of nowhere in some goulash in El Salvador and God knows where else, in Cuba at Guantanamo Bay. And some people don't even come from there, you know? And guess what? The worst part is some people have their green card. I watched a lot of channels. And when I tell you, this channel, her name is, how do I pronounce it? Mahomita Rahman. Her stuff is concrete. So y'all can go follow her, man. And she's an immigration attorney. So I know you got folks who, you know, I don't know her. She didn't pay me to endorse. But I like her message. So I'll be posting a couple of her videos. And y'all just check her out, man. Follow her on Instagram and TikTok. You know, because she got the real juice. And I hear their law firm is quite reputable. So y'all could check her out and tell her the dirty one sent you, okay? Okay, let's jump into it.
There's been a lot of talk about whether or not Trump is going to be targeting lawful permanent residents, and it looks like we finally have our answer about whether or not he will be targeting green card holders. In just the past few weeks, we have seen multiple cases of lawful permanent residents being detained, questioned, deported, and even violently interrogated by immigration officers. And it looks like Trump is about to try to pass laws that will give him even more power to deport even more people with legal status. So what does this mean for green card holders? And should you be worried? I'm going to cover each of these recent stories and explain the likelihood of you being targeted. And as a bonus, I will even share additional steps on what you can do to protect yourself, whether you're traveling here or outside the US. The first story comes from a viral TikTok video that has millions of views. A woman posted a warning about her 23-year-old niece, a nursing student and lawful permanent resident, who was denied entry back into the United States after attending her mother's funeral. Her niece had done everything by the books. She had had her green card for 6 months, she had done the process with an attorney, and she was only gone for 3 weeks. But when she landed at LAX, customs officials took her green card, cut off a corner, and put her in a holding room. There was no translator, no legal representation, and no appeal process. Then, without warning, she and several others were told that they would not be allowed back into the United States. ICE then collected $200 from each person and put them back on a plane. No explanation, no hearing, just deported. Someone in the same holding room was told that if you had a green card for less than 2 years and then left the US, you might not be allowed back into the United States. Now, this is not an official law, but if CBP officers are enforcing it like a rule, it means that international travel for green card holders could become a serious risk, even if every immigration guideline is closely followed. And it's not just happening at LAX. This next case happened at a different airport, and it sounds like it was even a worse experience. Fabian Schmidt, a German national and a longtime US green card holder, was returning home from a trip from Luxembourg. But when he landed at Logan Airport in Boston, customs officers flagged his recently renewed green card, and that's when things took a terrifying turn. According to news reports, he was detained, violently interrogated for hours, and stripped naked before being forced into a cold shower by 2 immigration officials. After that, they denied him food and water, keeping him under bright lights to prevent him from sleeping, and pressuring him to give up his green card. And despite having no active criminal cases against him, Schmidt is now being being held in an ICE detention facility in Rhode Island, where his family is desperately fighting to save him. Now, the next case should make it clear that Trump is detaining persons no matter whether or not they have traveled or not, because Mahmoud Khalil was not detained at the border or stopped at an airport. He was arrested at his own home. Mahmoud Khalil is a Palestinian activist and Columbia graduate student who has been a permanent lawful resident for several years. He has no criminal record and was on track to start his new job in order to support his U.S. citizen wife, who is now pregnant at 8 months. But none of this mattered. On March 8th, ICE agents showed up at his Manhattan apartment and arrested him in front of his wife after they were returning from an iftar gathering. At first, they claimed that his student visa had been revoked, but when it became clear that he was actually a green card holder and he didn't even have a student visa, then the story changed. Now, the Trump administration is trying to strip him of his green card and deport him without even charging him of any crime. And the reason why? They are claiming that he engaged in activities involved with Hamas, even though there is zero evidence that he has any ties to this organization. All he did was participate in pro-Palestinian protests at Columbia University, and that is likely the reason why they want him gone. One of Trump's own executive orders states that any immigrants who bear hostile attitudes towards American culture and institutions or have pro-jihadist views should be deported immediately. But bearing hostile attitudes towards American culture or institutions can literally mean anything that they want it to mean. And even though Khalil did not have pro-jihadist views, but was instead advocating for the basic human rights of Palestinian persons, they are still labeling him as a terrorist. So this is a sign that the Trump administration is going to weaponize immigration law to remove people it simply does not want in this country. And in Mahmoud's case, they are using it to arrest him for his political views, effectively turning him into a political prisoner, which is very unconstitutional, as well as having a chilling effect on free speech.
Okay, my people, you see what she's saying, right? Now, first of all, he has a legitimate green card. That means he's legitimized to stay in the country as long as he don't do nothing bad or, run afoul of the law. And he didn't. What he did, he stood up for his country, just like anybody else. I'm sure if an American is in Japan or China, well, no, not China or Russia, and they say something bad about America, we gonna stand up and we gonna fight. Now, when this is happening to foreign nationals who reside permanently here, what do you think the effect is gonna be for an American to speak good about America on somebody else's turf? So you see the domino effect here? And they're checking phones, they're checking social media for anything pro-Middle East or pro-enemy of America. But at the same time, they took over Twitter and they ran on free speech and constitution. But yet, they're doing everything against what they stated is wrong. If that ain't wrong, I don't know what else is, man. And did y'all see the release with Pete Hegseth on the documents? Classified documents on the Houthi strike? I'm not even going to touch on that. That's above my pay grade. Let's continue, guys. Let's continue.
So it increasingly looks like Trump is in fact going after green card holders, and we need to talk about why. The stories that we have covered aren't just isolated incidents. They're happening at the same time that Trump is preparing a new travel ban. This ban is set to go into effect soon, and it will block travel and immigration from dozens of countries. Some will be completely banned, while others will face severe restrictions. And two of the cases that we have discussed, both Mahmoud Khalil and the Laotian green card holder that was discussed in the TikTok video, both involve green card holders from Trump's proposed travel ban list. Note that green card holders were previously protected and exempt from the travel ban, so your country of origin should not be grounds to have your green card taken away. But anything is possible in this Trump administration. Also, this is not the first time that this has happened. In 2017, Trump signed the first ban targeting 13 countries, most of which were Muslim-majority nations. And during this time, customs regularly reportedly pressured green card holders from those countries to sign the Form I-407, which basically abandons your residency. However, there were never any reports of lawful permanent residents having their green cards be taken away. That's new. So if we start hearing more stories of similar things happening, then as a green card holder, you might want to think twice about traveling internationally, especially if you are from one of the banned countries. I'll put a full list of the countries that Trump is proposing to ban on the screen so you can check to see if your country is amongst them. As of the time of this recording, it has not yet been announced, but initial reports show that 43 of these countries could be banned to one degree or another. Now, what about the German green card holder? Unlike the two other cases, he's not from a banned country, so why was he detained? The most likely reason are his past legal issues. He had a dismissed misdemeanor marijuana charge and a DUI from years ago. He also missed a court hearing because a notice was not forwarded to his new address. Even though none of these are major crimes, immigration law allows the government to take away your green card if they can justify it legally. So it's important that you understand what can put your legal status at risk and how to avoid it. I have a separate video outlining the top 10 ways the government can take away your green card status, and I'll include a link to that video here. So what does it mean for you? Do you need to be worried about your legal status? Right now, we are not seeing a widespread targeting of green card holders. Most of these cases appear to involve specific factors, either being from a banned country, having a past legal criminal issue, or being the target of an executive order by the Trump administration. But this could change. As new laws take effect, it's possible that more green card holders will be affected. That's why it is so important to understand your rights and take legal steps to protect your legal status both inside the US and outside the US when traveling. So now that we know that the Trump administration is targeting green card holders, what can you do to protect yourself? Let's start with international travel. If you're a green card holder, traveling abroad is unfortunately now riskier than ever. Even though you may be a lawful permanent resident, that does not mean that your rights are absolute. And customs officials have a lot of power to question you and detain you upon your return. That is why you should always carry proof of strong ties to the US, including pay stubs, tax returns, lease agreements, mortgage statements, and bank account records. And if you don't have these, you're more likely to get flagged for abandoning your green card status, especially if you have traveled outside for more than 6 months. Limit long trips abroad. If you're gone for more than 6 months, you will get extra scrutiny. If you're gone for more than 12 months, you may be denied re-entry altogether unless you have a re-entry permit. And if you've had your green card for less than 2 years, consider postponing your travel plans until we know for sure whether or not customs might target you. Avoid countries on the proposed travel ban list. If you are from one of those banned countries, or if you've traveled there recently, you could get stopped at the airport. Immigration officials have already been detaining and deporting green card holders from these countries, so be extra cautious. Now might not be the time to travel internationally. Do not sign the Form I-407. If an immigration officer tries to pressure you into signing anything, do not sign anything without the presence of an attorney. They cannot force you to sign it, and for now, only an immigration judge can legally take away your green card if there is an issue. So insist on seeing a judge, and do not let these immigration agents bully you into submission. And get legal advice before you travel, especially if you have any issues. If you have any criminal history, I 100% recommend that you do not travel, even if these things were dismissed. We just do not know what will happen. Even minor offenses from many years ago could trigger an issue. However, if you are staying inside the United States, Trump's immigration crackdown could still affect you. So here are some ways to protect yourself here at home. First, keep your green card and other immigration documents up to date. If your green card is expiring soon, make sure to renew it ASAP. Also, make sure your passport and work permits are valid. This way, you have documentation in case you are questioned. Next, report any address changes to USCIS. If you move, you must update your address with the USCIS within 10 days. Plus, missing any important letters could put your status at risk. Avoid any contact with the criminal justice system. Even low-level offenses like DUIs or minor drug charges could still be weaponized by the Trump administration and cause you to be placed into proceedings. If you get arrested for any reason, talk to an immigration lawyer immediately. Be careful about public statements and the use of your social media. The Trump administration is monitoring immigrants' social media accounts, looking for anything that they can use to justify taking away your residency. If you've ever supported protests or made any public statements about Palestine, immigration, or other controversial topics, be aware that these could be used against you. Know your rights if ICE stops you. You do not have to answer their questions about your immigration status. You have the right to stay silent and ask to speak to your attorney. Do not sign anything without the presence of an attorney and without the proper legal advice. And finally, if you're worried about your status, now is the time to act. Becoming a citizen is the best way to protect your rights in a permanent manner, but you must make sure that you're eligible, otherwise that could create a problem as well. If you're not eligible yet, stay informed and take steps to protect yourself, because as we have seen, even green card holders may be targeted. My name is Wamida Rahman, and I have been practicing immigration law for the past 15 years. We have helped thousands of immigrants get their legal status fixed across the entire country, and even during the last Trump administration. And we would love to do the same for you. If you would like my help on your case, give our office a call to schedule a case evaluation at 212-248-7907. We are based in New York, and we serve clients in all 50 states. And if you want to learn more about what the Trump administration has planned with their new travel ban, be sure to watch my other video that explains how it works. This time around, he's not just preventing people from immigrating into the US, he's actively targeting persons who are already here. I'll include a link to that video next. Click here, and I'll see you soon. Works. This time around, he's not just preventing people from immigrating into the US, he's actively targeting persons who are already here. I'll include a link to that video next. Click here, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Miss Mahmouda, man. And do check out our channel, man. But these are truly desperate and desolate times, and we all gotta be careful. Trust no one. Because peep this, your next door neighbor could be the one giving you up for a cool $750. Because look at it. With the economy crashing, people are losing their jobs. They can't pay their bills. They can't pay their rent, their mortgages. And you're telling me that if 6 undocumented individuals live in a house down by the road or beside you, and I'm not speaking this about everybody, because some people do have morals, and thank God that those people still exist, including myself. Now, I'm not saying everybody is going to do this, but you're telling me if 6 or 7 undocumenteds live in the house down the way and people broke, hey, they're going to start mathing the math. They're gonna start get their calculators out and be like 6 times 7 multiplied by divide, and this could pay my rent, this could take care of my car note, this could, and I'm gonna have $3,000 left. No, that's too much. I'm gonna have like $1,500 left to go to party. Where the rest of them immigrants at? I'm telling on everybody, we not safe. We not safe right now. I'm just saying, if you got a green card, and that's where the big problem lies, man. Because according to the Constitution, some of what they're doing ain't right. Ain't right. And when you get caught up, even if you're clean and legitimate and you get put out of the country, some of us have been here for years, 30 years. We do not know the country that we came from. You know, we just intrinsically link through DNA and geography, but other than that, and you sending back people to a land they do not know how to survive in. The system where as a deportee you're looked upon as a scorned leper, pulling away fathers from their daughters, their sons, mothers from their sons, breadwinners. I know that little child gonna have to stay with that uncle, and that uncle may be a pedo. Yo, I mean, if you come here and you're doing bad, yeah, get out. Get out. But come on, man. Have some empathy. All of us gonna leave this earth one day. This earth that we fighting for. The dinosaurs were here before us. Mesopotamia, all those people, those places, they were here before us. You remember what happened at Mount Vesuvius? The volcano, and all kinds of stuff used to go on. Everybody used to treat poor people bad back in the day. And what happened? One volcano. You better watch that Yellowstone. Might be acting up. God bless, man. And check out our next video, all right? And please do leave a like, share, and a subscribe, and share this to your friends, your family, man, please. And just leave a comment and a like. It helps boost this channel so we bring more content to this community. God bless.
I am joy.
Pepper, you know the real G thing, huh? How we grow up, sometime the road tough side slow. Real patriots never buckle, never fall. How they get to run, that's why. Back from the boy, we not do that. Boy, who no can't kill with joy, who no boy. Who from your soul don't know a wrong boy. Yo, and a man bust a shot him off a pack up and boy. Pointed pon him head back and boy. Pop off him strap on him friend him for door. None of that, no assumption, I saw the ground rock. Power, married to corruption. Criminal, bred from limited options. 10 generation, I see the said someone one head man will live long. Name one. Things forever bury with not done. Name one. One good honest politician. Name one. And get a youth resilient. Back from the boy who no do that. Boy, who no can't kill with joy. Who no boy. Who from your soul don't know a wrong boy. Yo, a man better boy. And a man bust a shot him off a back up and boy. Pointed on him head back and boy. Pop off him strap on him friend him for door. None of that, you a man better. Things risky, for the misfit. Death rate fit the logistic. Chris, I want the biscuit. Bait of crackers with the whiskey. You're not listening. Crime live here, so it's not visiting. Visitors, careful, you know what the business is. Murder, plunder, pillaging. Bloodshed in all the villages. You name it, you will live in it. Get rich, I do special delivery. Nightmare, tormented images. Vengeance, bloody cycle continuing. But know you seek that, but it's no revenge. Looking at the mirror, there is no different. Man, we full of, hey, and we know we friends. Back from the boy, who no do that. Boy, who no can't kill with joy. Who no boy. Who from your soul don't know how wrong. Boy, yup, now a man better. Any man bust no shot him off a back up and boy. Pointed on him head back and boy. Pop off him strap on him friend him for door. None of that, you a man better. No assumption, I saw the ground run. Power, married to corruption. Criminal, bred from limited options. 10 generation, passing the said someone wanted man will live long. Name one, brings a fella with no name one. One honest politician, name one who. And get a youth resilient. Back from the boy, we not do that. Boy, can't kill with joy on the back. Boy, who from your soul don't know a wrong boy. Yo, a man better boy. Any man bust a shot him off a back up and boy. Pointed on him head back and boy. Pop off him strap on him friend him for door. But none of that, none of that. Yo, you know the thing going on, set a seat up a beat, you know. Hey man, take it to man. Boy, man. Man to them pepper.